What's up, y'all? This video right here is for all my VQ fam out there. So today I'm gonna be changing the spark plugs and the ignition coils on my 2015 Nissan 370Z. This is just a video to show you some tips if you don't know how to do it. If you've been thinking about doing a tune-up on your car, this is gonna show you how to get it done, and it's real simple. I'm gonna show you how. Now, most people know this already, but there's some people, that might just be getting into the platform. Maybe they just bought their first car and they don't know this. But for the people that don't know, the 370Z and the G37 share the same motor. So that means, as you can piece together, that the process for maintenance is basically the same. Now, there is some things that are a little bit different, just a little bit, and there's an example of that I'm gonna show next. But for the most part, it's the same process. You're doing the same thing. So for all my G guys and gals and my Z people like me, it's the same difference. But other than that, I'm not gonna talk y'all head off. Let's get started. So when I was saying that there's some small differences between the Z and the G platforms, this is one of them right here. This is your strut tower brace, and all 370Zs come from the factory with this option. Now, as far as I know, no Gs come from the factory with this. You can add it on if you want to after you buy the car or aftermarket, but they don't come from the factory with it. So that's the only difference in this process, is that for my Z owners, you'll have to remove this to reach your cylinders. For the G owners, you don't have to remove this. You could just skip this step. Now, for my Z owners, to get the strut tower brace off, it's real simple. There's gonna be a plastic piece that I've already taken off. As you can see right here, it just pops out. All you do is pop that out. I know my engine bay is dirty, don't come for me, but pop that out. There's gonna be 14 millimeter bolts that you need to remove. There's 8 in total, 3, 6, 7, 8. Now, to remove these, you'll need a 14 millimeter deep socket to get this one. So just get a deep socket, and then you'll need a ratchet. That's all you need. You don't need any fancy tools, just a ratchet and a 14 millimeter deep socket. Okay, with the strut tower brace out the way, you kind of got a little bit more room. You could reach cylinders 1 and 2 pretty easily now. If you did need to change just those 2, you wouldn't have to take everything apart. But for the purpose of this video, I will be taking everything apart. And because of the fact that I have a P0300, a random misfire, I'm gonna change every cylinder. So the next step would be to take apart your intake. Now, this is gonna be different for everyone depending on what type of intake you have. You could have the metal ones that wrap around to the front bumper. You could have the stock intakes. Basically, you got to figure out how to take your intakes off depending on which ones you have. I have the Z1 post-MAF intakes, and if you have these, it's real simple to take off. You just loosen these clamps and pull it right out. Now you want to repeat the same process with the other side. Once you take your intake system out, you'll have a lot of room. Almost ready to take your spark plugs and coils out, but there's just 2 things left. And those 2 things are gonna be your throttle bodies right here. Now, to take these out, there's gonna be 4 bolts holding this in. 1, 2 at the top, 3, and then 4 in the corner. To get the throttle body out, to remove those bolts, you'll need one of these, a ratchet, obviously, and one of these bits. It's like a socket with a bit attachment, or a 5 millimeter Allen key. It's 5 millimeters to get that bolt out. So what I did was I got this set from my local AutoZone. You can go to Harbor Freight, Advance, O'Reilly's, wherever you get your parts. get you one of these and get that 5mm. And once you get the throttle body out, you'll be ready to start. Now that your throttle body is out the way and you can move it, you have enough space to begin. So, to get to your spark plugs, you'll obviously need to remove your ignition coils. And to do that, you will need a 10mm socket and a ratchet. I suggest that you get an extension because it's going to be hard to just fit it on there and get it out without this extension. So get you a ratchet, an extension, and a 10mm socket. That's all you need. Now, to remove the ignition coil, once it's out of the spark plug hole, all you got to do is take this clip off right here. Press down right here, pull it out. Okay, so once you got your ignition coil out the way and unplugged, you're now ready to go and get that spark plug out. So, in order to do it, you need a couple things. One, your ratchet. Two, you need a 10-inch extension for your ratchet to reach in there. You can go longer than that, but 10 is good. You don't really need to go longer if you don't want to. And the most important thing is this, a 14mm magnetic spark plug socket. You're gonna need this to get your spark plug and pull it out of there safely. So get these 3 things and you'll be able to pull that spark plug out. So, as you can see, pretty simple, pull it out. My old plugs are really worn. These were last changed about 40 to 50,000 miles ago. I think they're just worn out. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And you want to repeat that for every cylinder. Okay, now with all the coil packs out and all the spark plugs out, you're ready to put the new ones in. And I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, but here is the old plug versus the new on the left. You can see it's kind of stained on the porcelain a little bit and a lot of carbon buildup on the electrode part. But yeah, when you put the new one in, all you want to do, grab it, put the porcelain end inside the socket like this, and then go in reverse order. So you turn left to take it out, you turn right to tighten it. And it's very important. This is the most important part about putting them back in. You don't want to over tighten them. You only want to tighten your spark plugs hand tight, as far as your hand can tighten it. Do not try to strong arm your spark plug back in there and tighten it super tight. They don't got to be super tight, just finger to hand tight. Because if you do that and go too hard, you can end up stripping the inside of there. And as we all know, that's bad news. We don't want that. So just go easy, drop it back in the hole, and tighten until your hand can fully tighten it, and then you want to stop. That's all you got to do. So I'm gonna put this new one back in, put all of the new spark plugs in, and then we're gonna repeat the same process on that side. See, stopping now. That's finger tight right there. Just want to tighten it a little bit more than that and leave it. That's it. Going into cylinder 4. The firing order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this second one will be cylinder 4. 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5 on that side. So we're now putting the new plug into cylinder 4. Now what I do is I like to just go in there, tighten it a little bit, make sure that it gripped the thread, and see when I pull it out, there's no plug, that means it's good. It's in there. So now you can go ahead and make sure it clips on and start tightening. Alright, last cylinder, number 6 over here. Last spark plug. Make sure that grips on. Hear that click. It's tight, it's not moving. So now we're ready to go. This one is the hardest one to reach. Alright, so now that all of the new spark plugs are in each cylinder on this side, now you can go ahead and put your new ignition coils in. So when you put your ignition coil in, this is important too. You want to make sure that you get some dielectric grease and put it in here around the boot, because what this does is it prevents it from getting stuck on the spark plug. When you change them again, it won't get stuck. So make sure you grease that, and all you have to do is just take a little bit and put it around the rim here and on the inside. Once your ignition coil is greased, it's ready to go, and you can go ahead and put it back in, same way that you took it out. Connect the connector, boom, pop it right back in. there is how you change your spark plugs and ignition coils in your VQ37. Now you just have to repeat the process on the other side, and once you're finished, put everything back together exactly how you took it out, and there you go. Now, after you put your ignition coils back into place, you're finished with your job. Your spark plugs and your ignition coils are changed, and now you just got to put everything back together how you took it apart.